Hey, what's up? Let's bring the lights down a little bit. I make it so crazy. Let's adjust that. The headroom righteous. And let's log into beautiful YouTube live control room. How's everybody doing? Oh. All right. Ho, what's up? Can everybody see and hear me okay? Hey, Mares, Wizard John, what's up? Anybody else? Notification worked. You're not backwards this time, and I can hear you. It's all right with the world. Amer says I'm backwards. Weird. Citizens Media, good evening. I've now listened to the full MMT talk about 15 times. Yeah, really good response from that MMT talk, except for one person who lost their shit and is now getting blocked. Seamus Smith, hello from Ireland, my friend. My dad's side of the family is from the County Mayo, I believe. That's where the Elwood is from. I'm not full Irish, obviously, but my grandfather on my mom's side is from there too. Andrew Sweets from Canada. I don't know why this is reversed. I'm not doing anything differently. I don't know what is going on. I really do not understand. I'm not doing anything differently. The camera, everything, my whole setup is the exact same, man. I really do not know what is causing this at all. But I want to tell you, I'm happy to announce that I have started putting the show on Daily Motion. So the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 episodes are now on Daily Motion. Those of you who, I'm going to keep putting it on all the episodes on YouTube. I'll probably always keep it on YouTube, but since some of you don't like the Google, and I don't know that I blame you, there's an alternative. So you can watch ads on Daily Motion. Here's what I would suggest. Open up a browser to YouTube and just let it play so the ads play on YouTube, and then actually watch it on Daily Motion. So, see, Blaine, as long as the sound isn't backwards, it's all good. Yep, zoop, yep, yep. I'm talking back. I don't know why then I communicate as a robot. Minor mirror setting must be on settings. Oh, fuck. I don't know, dude. Let's look at it. I don't know. I don't know where I would find that. I just can't do it right now. Shelby Hall, hey guys, great day. Instead of going to the march this morning, I had to meet the AC guy. AC went out last night. $640 later, we have cold air again. Oh, man. Wow, I'm so sorry, because you're in Arizona. You better have that AC pumping in the summer or you're going to die. Die, guy, go, go. Yeah, my surfboard should always be behind and to my left. I don't know what's going on. All right. Elazar Sharir. Graham, hey man, how are you doing? Glad you are live. I'm doing okay. Going through some stuff that's a little challenging, but I'm doing okay. I was surfing with Putin today, and him and Jill Stein. She came in. She caught this gnarly right. Jill Stein. She's a badass surfer, man. She's a. And Hillary was trying to surf, but then Putin and Jill Stein kept like blocking her, and they were dropping in on her. And they wouldn't let her surf. It was like, oh man, it's the election all over again. I look beautiful anyway. I'm gonna let that go. Shelby, I'm sorry for your air conditioning woes. At least I'm not locked in a cage. Jared Kaiser, the pre-commercial was an ad asking if I support Trump. Oh, that's nice. Well, I will say this, the Progressive Comedy Tour was so great. I Jeff T. Halls, a fan, gave me this Nashville shirt with the Batman logo. It was really cool. It was awesome having all these progressives come out and all, we were in, again, all red states, and people were like, woo, thank you. You know, the Nashville show was really cool. The Huntsville, Alabama was great. It was probably the least attended of all of them, just because, I don't know, it's Northern Alabama and it's kind of a newer club. But the people that were there were awesome. These guys in the audience with like, hunter caps on, and part of me was like, oh man, they're probably big Trumpers. And of course, afterwards they come and like, hey man, we love you on Jimmy Dore. I was like, awesome. It was powerful to have, I've traveled all over this country, so I feel like my view of this country is pretty open, but still it was nice. You think red states, there's no progressives anywhere, and they were. And then like Asheville, obviously Asheville, you would expect it. It's a big hippie town, but Louisville was really cool too, man. And so many people in Louisville were like, God, thanks for coming here. Thanks for coming to Kentucky. And the Atlanta show was great. It was really, we sold out Asheville and Louisville, and intimate little spaces and stuff like that. But we're going to do more of these tours. Ron and I we're starting to see what's working best, and from the finances and the logistics and the promotion and everything like that. And all you guys that came out and said stuff to us afterwards. And it was really cool in the photos. And the DSA they were at the Nashville show and the Asheville show. We had Veterans for Peace at the Asheville show. I interviewed that guy from Veterans for Peace. If you haven't watched that video, please watch it. It's pretty powerful what he has to say, why he's became a veteran for peace. And we had a progressive candidate that came out to the Georgia show. He's running for the Georgia State Assembly. And man, in the Atlanta show, this couple that was from Yugoslavia, what was then Yugoslavia, and Bosnia, and they were really this older couple who was like, fled in the 80s, and they had family that, some people that got killed during all of the horrible shit that went down in the 90s, and they were just like in tears thanking us for talking about being anti-war, and it was really beautiful. I mean, to see the wide range of people, young millennials, and then this couple probably in their late 60s who's from Yugoslavia, and everyone's like, we watch you on Jimmy Dore, and we watch you Political Vigilante. It was really powerful. It was a cool thing to be a part of, and was just laughing a lot with Ron on the road, and got to do a live interview with Pandactivist, from Actify Chat, which was neat. And yeah, it was cool. I cannot thank enough. And then, good news, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez won, which was awesome. It was so big. That's such a big momentous thing, and how she did it. Her average donation was $22. Didn't take any corporate money, no big super PACs, $22. $22 was her average donation. What does that tell you? Graham, I'm glad you understand the Zach Davis. You understand how our economic system works now with MMT. Thank you. Um, Marcia Smith, my central AC went out in September. Spent over 14 to get it fixed, and it's still inoperable. Oh, that sucks. Um, yeah. Shelby's thinking about dating an air conditioner repairman. Well, let me know how that works out. Um, Perio Creative Media, thanks for the coverage in Puerto Rico too. Yeah, my pleasure, man. My pleasure. Um, so yeah, the progressives winning, you know, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I think, is one of the more profound things. And if Kevin Mejia can win in the general as a Green in the California 34th, I believe, congressional district, that would be even huge too. So it's so funny. Jimmy was calling out, you know, Joyanne Reed and all these corporate media people were like, "Who's Alexandria? We didn't know anything about her. We gotta come get up to speed and figure out who she is." And Jimmy was like, "Yeah, I interviewed her 9 months ago," which was awesome, man. Um, Plantastic Life, Dominic. Thank you for supporting the show. Thanks for recommending the Angry Birds video by Stephanie Kelton. Yeah, it was really cool. Really thanks to Jeff Epstein from Citizens Media TV and all of the other stuff that he suggested on that show. If you have not watched the two-part MMT videos, please watch them. They were eye-opening for me and eye-opening for many others. So I highly recommend watching those. And it's like one of the more important issues right now. I think the environment is the most important issue, but understanding money and how we could easily pay for all of this green technology without even batting an eye is, to me, as critical, because that's always the thing they say. Well, how are we going to pay for all this Green New Deal? How are we going to pay for it? It's pie in the sky. They're ponies, you know. So now we know that's not the case, and you know, it's great. So, thank you, Dominic, for supporting the show. And I want to read this letter I got from the P.O. Box. That I got from one of you. Your video on the CDC report that downplayed guns' role in rising suicide rates really struck home with me. 2017 was a very tough year for me. I'll spare you the details. But then this person basically talks about how they had considered taking their own life, and had they had a gun, they would have been successful. And it's, you know, and the person was thrown into the craziness of our healthcare system. Yeah. So keep fighting for single payer healthcare and increased funding for mental health treatment. And don't let life you down the road I tried to take. P.S. I hope you have more guests on the show. You're at your comedic best when you're in a conversation, i.e. comedy film nerd. So this is a really cool letter that was sent to me. Some of you feel more comfortable donating to the PO to the PO box. Monica CA 90409. So yeah, so it's a great way to support the show. Some of you were like, I don't want to use my info on the internet or whatever, which is totally cool. So you can donate at the PO box, and some of you have cash and money orders. I mean, cash is a little risky; someone could take it, but a money order, whatever you feel comfortable doing, and that's why I'm putting on Daily Motion now. I've set up a Steemit account, but Steemit takes like a week or two to get approved. You can pay to get approved quickly, which I was like, nope. So as soon as Steemit is approved, then the videos will be all like Each video will drop on all three platforms, Steemit, Dailymotion, and YouTube. But right now, Dailymotion and YouTube, this is the YouTube one. Dailymotion and YouTube are up and running. So check that out. All right, let's get into some of your fantastic questions. Shelby Hall, Alexandria has been everywhere. It has done so much for the DSA and our message. She's got to be terrifying the corporate Democrats. Pelosi's like, oh, socialism is not ascending in the Democratic Party. Well, yeah, because you keep trying to crush it. And if it is ascending, it's outside of your bullshit party. Marcia Smith, learn MMT. It explains how our currency works. The upper echelons know it and use it while trying to sell us a bill of goods about federal budgets, deficits, and debt. All is a lie. Absolutely. Monty G, the Modern Money video was such a fantastic. Thank you. I'm glad you guys liked it. Money MMT is eye-opening. We don't have a money deficiency. We have a morality deficiency. Well, that is, yeah, we've lost that a long time ago. Jared Kaiser, keep spreading the message. I have a question. At what point do people realize the military budget is unsustainable in regards to the lie that federal taxes don't fund federal spending? Man, that's a great question. But even aside from the finances of, so now, now that we know that there's plenty of money, it's how is this crazy amount of war sustainable? I saw this graph that the height of military spending was in the early 80s, the height of the Cold War. And then the lowest it was like 2000. And then, oh, weird, 9/11 happened. And you can see the defense contractors are looking at this going, that's why they're doing all this Russia stuff. We got to get back to the 80s, man. We got to get back to the 80s numbers and get everything pumped up there. I don't know, and I feel like the approach is the money. Why are we spending all of this money on war? Yes. But the morality of it, I think we really need to appeal to the morality of the American masses and really show them. I wish I had the money. I wish I was just more than just a guy in his apartment and could really have a team of people. I would go get video from Yemen and all these places and show it to people and say, look what's happening. Look what our military is doing. Look, the white helmets are bullshit. So, Wizard John, MMT paves the way for all that we need to do. It's political will that makes it work. Yep. Amir, is it strange that no candidates ever mentioned MMT? Well, apparently Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has, which is great. Brad B, vote Hillary 2020. We don't care at all. We are all Democrats. We are holy. I got into an argument with this guy at the Atlanta show. He was like, so I don't understand. Trump is authoritarian. He's awful. We got to get him out of there. And I was like, with who? Corporate Democrats? He's like, well, that's why you lost me. I go, yeah, Trump's awful. What he's doing, separating families, is awful. Obama jailed and deported families. He didn't separate them, so he's the big hero? I mean, what Trump is doing is awful. It's horrifying. I don't like him at all. But the corporate Democrats and this just any blue will do attitude during 8 years of Bush is why Trump was allowed to do this. Obama didn't put all these strict laws in place and deregulate or get rid of ICE and all this stuff. He deported 2 million people. And this guy kept arguing with me, and I said, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. You came to the wrong show. There's the exit. It was insane. It was insane. C. Blaine, Alexander did so well on both Colbert and The View. Celeste Holmes, Randy Bryce protested with a group of us today in Racine. Unlike AOC, Randy had to read his feelings off a piece of paper. No real passion for the positions he purports to support. Yeah. I know. Elazir sure here. It's sustainable for the people who make weapons. Yeah. The defense contractors, it's very sustainable. It's a great model. Shelby Hall, the next terror attack is going to send people to camps. Mark my words, Trump won't stop until he's got all immigrants, legal or not, and all Muslims in camps. There was no end to this hatred. Yeah, I agree with you for sure. And there'll be some it'll either be a false flag or it'll just be, some illegal immigrant will commit some awful crime and he'll go, yeah, see, round him up, or the CIA will let some terrorist get through the border and blow something up, and they'll go, see, liberals let this terrorist blow us all up. That's what they're going to try to do. And they'll somehow tie it to Russia, and then we'll stack it up. It's funny, I've been watching the World Cup. I love this World Cup. And I got to watch the coverage through Fox, and oh God, they're so stupid. But they're like, look at all these great soccer games and all these beautiful Russian cities. It's pretty amazing. America's nowhere to be found. Nobody gives a shit that America's not there. It's an amazing tournament, and it's great watching them. There's that I've seen, no sort of Russiagate narrative in there. It's just like, oh, look at all these wonderful teams playing this beautiful game in this magnificent tournament. And they're like, they do these like public interest pieces between games. We're going to go to this city and learn about this culture of this region of Russia. It's really I was just like, wow, okay, Fox. Interesting. Plantastic Life. Thank you for supporting the show. Trump is awful, no question. However, do you think Ocasio-Cortez happens if HRC was president? Great question. Probably not. She probably doesn't even run. Right? She's a single mom in the Bronx or something like that. I mean, I know it's the Bronx. I'm not sure if but like, she probably doesn't even run. There's probably no women's march. There's not people flooding town halls. Does Kenneth Mejia run? Does this happen? Did any of these things happen? We don't know. I doubt it. It's a great question. And so Trump winning, while he is awful, forces somebody like Ocasio-Cortez to say, I'm running. Screw this. A lot of younger millennial progressives running, being openly socialist. They're running. And that, you're right, that wouldn't have happened if Hillary would have won. That's a great question, Dominic. Thanks for asking and supporting the show. David Wint, thank you, sir, for supporting the show. Hedges has explained out-of-control military endeavors abroad are one part of the empire imploding. Yep. Another part is what we're starting to see here, such as the militaristic response to ICE protests in Portland this week. Yeah, this is what is, when Trump got elected, I was like, oh no. I mean, look how the militarized police responded under Obama. Occupy Wall Street, right? Ferguson, Baltimore, Standing Rock. And now we've got this lunatic. So this is what I'm really concerned about, is that the military, when it is done using its gear, gives it to the police. And so every time there's a new round of military equipment, it's then given to police departments or sold to them. So you're right, and Hedges talks about this, how the response from the state will be more violent and more severe, and you're seeing it in these protests. You're seeing how they're responding, and then you watch how the state media, the corporate media, purports it. Oh, people got out of line. Cops had to. Cops had no choice. It's always said that way. And, I don't know what's going to happen. It's pretty scary. It's an empire out of control. I mean, Hedges is absolutely correct. We've spread our military. We're in 160 some countries or some ridiculous number. We have a military presence in 160 or 70. I forget what the actual number is. It's hard to keep track. And this is how we respond to protests in Portland. Portland, pretty hippie town. And this is how it's going to be. It's pretty gnarly, man. So it's a great point that you bring up, David. And I just released that video from about Hedges talking about Bernie Sanders, and it's you know it's kind of hard to disagree with Chris Hedges, man. He's so on point. He's like a laser. So um, yeah, I'm all for peaceful protest, but just be careful. Because when you protest, they want you to get violent. They want you to do something that they have to react to. They'll press you and prod you, and they're looking for like young guys that are all mad. And they want to antagonize those guys to get them to do something dumb, like start throwing stuff at the cops or whatever. They're looking for that. They're looking for that. So, thank you, David Wynn, for supporting the show. Shelby Hall, the war on drugs is a war on our own people. It is just a matter of time before an all-out war happened on us. I feel it is upon us. Yeah, it's already happening. It's already happening. I mean, if you look at what happened at Standing Rock, I mean, it's already, every time there's a protest, that's what happens. And then I get worried that someone's going to retaliate like that shooter did in Dallas and that other one did in, I believe, Baton Rouge. He just started shooting at cops. What's that going to happen? Both those guys are ex-military, trained and armed. That's a scary thought. Monty G. And they thought Obama had a stockpile of coffins and houses to fill up with the citizen concentration work camps. Who knew it would be their next beloved Republican president? Oh yeah, I know. Everybody on the right was like, Obama's crazy. And it's just like, but Trump's great. And this is the problem with the two-party system and the neoliberals and the neoconservatives is they turn such a blind eye to whoever is their leader, their team person. Hillary's this proud feminist. Really? She's a feminist? She's a rich white lady that went after women that accused her husband. Phil Britton, DC declared war on democracy with Trump's election. Wake up, we're at war with DC right now. Yeah. Shanri Ha, the war on the climate is a crock of garbage that too many support blindly without knowing facts. Our climate and weather is totally controlled by the sun. Man's ego does nothing. Yeah, I don't agree with that at all, Shanri Ha. Actually, and there are 97% of all scientists on every country in the face of the planet will tell you that the internal combustion engine and all of the chemicals and everything that man is putting into the environment are what is creating this drastic climate change. So I don't agree with that at all. You might be at the wrong show, but thanks for tuning in. Annabelle Corley, when everything is a war on, what does that say? Oh yeah, everything's a war. It's all war language, right? It's the culture of war. And especially like football, why I can't watch football if it's all war language in that, It's all attack and we got to buckle up and we're at war and, football is helps prepare young men and women to get ready for war. To just put that in your psyche at a very young age. The jets flying over above, the national anthem and all the war language with talking about strategy with football for a reason. Yeah, Phil Britton, remember, they put Rex Tillerson in the cabinet. All of Trump's cabinet are climate change deniers. All of them. They all get money from the oil lobby. Plenty of Democrats get money from the oil lobby. David Wynn, a friend in sales who drives all over the New England, told me he was stopped on the highway last week by a Gestapo-like armed team with dogs in an immigration checkpoint in New York, 1 hour from the Canadian border. Wow. It's crazy. That's a little startling. That's the thing that's so powerful about Ocasio-Cortez. She ran on a platform of abolishing ICE. Abolishing. So, yeah, the sun does control the weather, but man is why it's changing. No, Shariha. I've done enough research on climate change. Go back to your BP, whatever oil lobby is paying you to jump on this thing. Go hang out there. Um, Celeste Holmes, U.S. Border Patrol can fuck with you 100 miles from any border. Um, uh, Baby Gerald, that was all over the news in upstate New York. Well, that's good. Phil Britton, Trump via ICE has built a wall of fascism already around America. Yeah. ICE is going after naturalized citizens, which is brutal. Hey, Marcia Smith, hey everyone, did you know that Alexandria Ocasio Cortez is one of the New York voters who was purged in 2016? Yep, that's why. Yeah. All right. Shariha. Sorry, friend. I answered your question. I don't agree with you. We're done talking about it. Here it comes. Boom. Um, you have a good point. 108 degrees in Oman was the low for the evening temp. That means it's not the sun. Yeah. Um, Shammy Davis Jr. When abortion is illegal, the right wing will subpoena the clinic's records and charge women with murder. Yeah. Yeah. I really hope, though, I really, I'm very worried though that there's just enough people on the left who are just like, get any Democrat in there. So I hope, yeah, because I think we still need a real third party to pop up there. Um, Marcia Smith, and now she's going to Congress. Vengeance this week. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Ooh, I need a water break after blocking an Exxon Mobil troll. Gonna be a quick trigger today, guys. Don't got a lot of patience for the trolls today. Quick trigger. Moose Gal, we need more Democratic Socialists to take over Congress and the Senate, aka progressive Dems. Yeah, I could not agree more with that. Jared Kaiser, did you notice Roberts was the only conservative judge to vote on last week's cell phone tracking case without a warrant by police? Oh yeah, I know. Ugh. Um, hey, Maris, it makes me nervous about the Kenneth Mejia race. Celeste Holmes, yeah, there's still too many any blue will do types out there. I think, no, you're not boring me. Um, I first of all, with Kenneth Mejia, there's a lot of time here. The general election is in November. So what'll be interesting is how he spends the summer getting votes and how can he get out there. And I'm going to try to have him on the show. And I might even try to volunteer a little bit for him if I have the time. So I think, if we send Mejia and Ocasio Cortez there, I mean, that's pretty huge. That's pretty huge. Hughes. That's pretty huge. um, Seamus Smith, Trump's coming to the UK and Ireland on the 13th July. My party, Socialist Party, aligned with Socialist Alternative, will be planning a student and worker general strike in all major towns and cities. Awesome, Seamus. Good for you, man. Right on. Um, Moose Gal, Graham, what should be the progressives' response be to the retiring of Justice Anthony Kennedy? Oh, God. Of course, this is why I blame the Democrats so much because they have failed on so many levels and they cheated in the primary and their arrogance. Now we've got justices retiring. So I think it's up to progressives to just try to block whatever fucking Nazi Trump tries to get in there. if they can, and then hold Democrats people who were involved in the confirmation, hold them so accountable. Just say no, no, no. Just make it. Just block it. Don't let it happen. Just fight tooth and nail. Fight tooth and nail. That's the only thing I can say. I don't know. It's pretty gnarly. It's a great question, but it's pretty gnarly. Taj Marie, Jimmy Dore brought up an article about millennials defecting from the Democratic Party. An issue with the article because it only focused on the demographics of white millennial males. Yeah, I'm hearing, regardless of gender or ethnicity, that millennials in general are defecting from the Democratic Party. More and more of them are. I got to tell you, all the DSA people I've met out on the road, they've all been millennials. So that gives me hope that because millennials, all they've known is war, post 9/11 war, and the housing crash. And I'm sure they have plenty of parents who lost their homes and jobs and all that stuff. So they're probably just like, yeah, the whole system's broken. Yeah. Let's see where we're at here, guys. Evangelicals are already trying to play down the SCOTUS stuff because they know if Roe v. Wade is overturned, their people won't be as energized. Speaking of Supreme Court justices, I feel that there needs to be term limits, although I understand the need for consistency. Having people serve terms for life or close to it seems undemocratic. Yeah, there's a lot of undemocratic stuff out there. Kennedy timed his retirement to help GOP candidates turn out their voter base, especially those disillusioned with Trump but terrified of a Dem appointing a Supreme. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good point. It's a good point. Supreme Court has had different numbers of justices. We'll need to win back the court. Yep. C. Blaine, let's hope the Dems will get a backbone and stall the Supreme Court pick until after the midterms. Ugh, Dems get a backbone? Whew. We'll see about that. I gotta say, so much of what we're seeing is just the decades of failure by the Democratic Party and their complete acquiescence to the corporate state, you know? And it's the thing I talk about time and time again. You know, FDR, ahead of the 1940 Democratic Convention, warned the party to not move right. Don't do it. And they voted out Henry Wallace and they got in Truman. And that was really the beginning of the end. And that's what's been going down. And as Hedges calls it, there's been a 4 decades long corporate coup. So Muscal, Graham Bielma said in his last show that in August, Alexandria Cortez will be on. Yeah, she was recently on The View, Democratic Social Committee. Let's hope so. And maybe Bill Maher will go after her and he'll reveal how much of a fucking neoliberal idiot he is. Celeste Holmes, rock and a hard place for Dems. Obstruct confirmation, GOP base turns out. Appease and allow confirmation, Dems get fucked. Yeah, I know. I know. Shelby Hall refused to allow my daughter to live her life as a second-class citizen. Yeah, it's brutal. SCOTUS put W in office, Triana be fine. Yes, they did. But Al Gore did just let it happen. He didn't fight that at all. He didn't fight for a recount. He didn't fucking Al Gore, typical pussy Democrat, just let it fucking happen. He should have fought that tooth and nail. And he, well, this is it. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Washing machine killer. Graham answers our questions. Communism is key. Rhombus isotope. Who couldn't happen to a more useless, feckless party? Useless. We'll see the assistants vote for Trump's nominee. Pete D. It pisses me off how pussy Democrats have been. We bear the brunt of the consequences. Yeah, you're so right. This is the Democrats just because it's so obvious now. They actually need the Republicans to be in power so that they can just say, oh, they can blame it all on the Republicans. Because when they have control, they don't pass anything of any merit. They won't pass universal health care. They wouldn't do single payer when in the state of California, when the Democrats ran control of the state assembly and the state house. They won't do it. And now they've lost control, so now they can, the Republicans. Oh, but people still make excuses for Obama. He didn't have a supermajority in the, in the Senate or whatever. He had the House and the Senate. It was Democrats that sold out and gave us Romney Care, which is now Obamacare. We could have had real fucking free health care, and they sold it out. Could have had a public option, could have had all these things. Cherry the Pineapple, Brexit means Brexit. Thank you. Yeah, Obamacare is a fucking scam. Saves money, but it could have been better. Elazir Sharir, all they want to do is blame people and distract everyone. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they do. They would rather lose to Republicans. The Democrats would rather lose to Republicans than let progressives take over. Because if progressives take over the party, which is like Pelosi is so against it publicly, they lose their payday. If progressives take over, Pelosi's done, Chuck Schumer's done, Wasserman Schultz, done. They're all done. They all lose their paydays, man. They can't let that happen. They can't let that happen. You know? Rhombus isotope. The neolibs don't need to start pretending to be progressives. All they have to do is press the right intersectional buttons and the left tears itself apart again. Yeah, of course. That's all they need. Don't forget, guys, support the show. Hit the super chat button. Great way to support the show. Also, sign up for Patreon. My voice, I've done so many shows. And interviews and podcasts. My voice is a little shot, you guys. I got a raspy late night downtown voice. How you doing? Shelby Hall. Thanks for supporting the show, Shelby. Really sweet of you to do this, considering you just had to buy a new air conditioner. We must win hearts and minds. To get back the court, we need to win everything. Then we add justices. The only way that happens is to give the people hope. We can pack the court if we win everything. Yeah, I agree. And the Ocasio-Cortez thing is so significant because what it does is it shows people out there, get behind real progressives. She ran a great campaign, you know? The one debate that Crowley agreed to because he kept ducking her, she fucking ate his lunch, man. She's like, you don't even speak Spanish and you're in a district that's 40% Latino. You live in Virginia. You don't even live in the Bronx. She like takes the train. Like she's what? She's fantastic, man. So I hope everyone starts waking up. We don't need this any blue will do. We can get behind real progressives and we can do it at $22 a click, man. So Shelby, you bring up a great point. We need to overwhelm them with progressives and not back down. Ocasio-Cortez did not acquiesce at all, man. So thank you, Shelby, for bringing that up and supporting the show even after having to get a new air conditioner. You're awesome. You have a good point. Thank you for supporting the show. I do enjoy your show very much, and I appreciate you supporting the show, and I appreciate your avatar. It looks like a dog with a hat. I'm very much excited about that. Shelby Hall, there is no way to stop what is about to happen with rolling back our rights, but there is a way to change it. It will take time, but I'll fight as long as I have to. Yeah, and that's the attitude to take, Shelby. That is the attitude to take. Just keep fighting and get every little victory you can. You know, anyone who's like, well, I don't live in New York, so what does it matter that... No, we have a real progressive now going to Washington, D.C. And yes, she's fighting for her district in the Bronx, but she can help sway a lot of... I mean, there's a lot of things she's going to vote on. So it's big. Yeah, there's a lot of people in New York. That's a great point. Taj Marie, yet many of these people, like many of these Democrats, continue to be voted in. While I understand that there is rigging behind the scenes, I feel a lot of the older demographic settle for fear of losing, Social Security and Medicare. I agree with that. Shelby, I literally cried when Alexandria won. I didn't realize how I had needed good news and hope. Yeah, we need some good news. We need some good news. David went, didn't Obama cut a deal with the insurance industry before the topic was even debated in Congress? Yep. All while he had a supermajority plus all the good in the world to do whatever he wanted. Yep. Yeah. Stephen Carl, I want our corporate media to try to cover general strikes. It's a thing we got to do, man. Just sit down, stay at home on some stuff like general strikes. Just shut the whole machine down until they change. Because if you go out, I mean, a public protest is decent. It's good, but they can then send the cops at you and start nightsticking everybody. Moose Gal, Graham, since Alexandria Cortez won, I heard membership to the DSA has gone up. I don't know. I haven't heard anything to verify that or not, so I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I'll say that. I wouldn't be surprised. Great question. If anyone's got any real info on that, it'd be good to know. Baby Gerald, thanks again for the MMT episode this week. Check out the website Naked Capitalism for more great discussions of MMT. Michael Hudson is a good resource too. Oh, thank you. Well, that's good. That's good to know. So let's, I'll read that again. Check out the website Naked Capitalism. This is for everybody. That has great discussions on MMT, and Michael Hudson is a good resource too. All right, I will do that, Baby Gerald. The MMT thing, it is now like integrating into so many of the stuff that I'm covering on this show, and I really dig it. I'm glad, and it's the community that I am very happy that we've all created here, where somebody like Jeff can say, "Hey, man, I really think you should talk about this," and let him come on the show. It's really cool. So thank you, Baby Gerald. Triana be fine. Do you think the DNC will give Alexandria a list and make her phone bank? Whew, great question. That's what we're going to see. There's a lot of eyes on her now. She doesn't seem, I don't know her personally. I've talked to her online a little bit. I was trying to set up an interview a couple months ago, but she was really busy. A lot of eyes are going to be on her. So the Democratic Party is going to probably try to pressure her into like, hey, it's great to say all that stuff on the campaign, but now we got to get back to the business of being corporate Democrats. And we'll see how she reacts. We'll see how she reacts. It'd be cool if she just went, nah. That'd be awesome, right? But yes, I think the DNC will try to give her a list of phone bank. How she reacts to it will remain to be seen. Thanks for supporting the show, Triana. Be fine. Once again, Baby Gerald, check out the website Naked Capitalism and Michael Hudson. Plantastic, like Act Fight Chat has conducted interviews on MMT as well. Yeah, it's good. It's a good thing to talk about. Sorry, it was 35 times more signups than an average day. That's what it was for the DSA membership question. Oh, okay. Great. So then DSA membership is gone up. In talking to some of the DSA people, they're like, there's more DSA signing up in red states. Because I think you're getting people who are like disillusioned with the Democratic Party, but then people who are like, disillusioned Trump voters or people who voted, don't like Trump and voted for him as the lesser of two evils. And they're like, look what he's doing. And they just want something else. People want something else. It's not a party, they tell me. It's a membership thing. I got it. Taj Marie, next time, can you do a show in Durham, Chapel Hill, North Carolina? Also, you should check out Tan Lu's book, The Ponzi Factor in Regards to Wall Street. I would love to come to Durham and Chapel Hill. I love Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. I would love to do that. We could only really hit the western part of the state in Asheville, but yeah, we'd like to come back through North Carolina. I'd love to do Charlotte. I love Charlotte, Taj Marie, and I will check out Tan Lu's book, The Ponzi Factor in Regards to Wall Street. Cool. Thanks, Taj Marie. I like all the book suggestions, guys. I've got a Goodreads thing. Now that I'm off the road, Goodreads thing, I just need to go in there and put a little time into it, and we'll have a thing. We'll have a book club, an online book club. I don't know what's the sort of thing. Yeah, we'll have a book thing. Thanks, Taj Marie. Shammy Davis Jr., the only way to stop Trump's madness is the general strike to bring the economy to a halt. I'm open to that. DSA in red states? Wow, how come Democratic states like California stay so neoliberal? Yeah, because the Democrats have such a stranglehold on states like California, New York, and Illinois and stuff like that. And it shows you the power of what's happening. I heard Texas has like the largest number of new DSA like groups. That's what I heard. We all need a thing. I blame society. Trump is doing much better than I thought he'd do. Oh, wow. I don't know where you got to that. Thanks, Pete D. Oh, I blame society. So he is gaining more peace, lowering unemployment, and expanding our economy. Yeah, 60% of the society of America only has $1,000 in savings. He just helped give $1.5 trillion in tax cuts to the wealthy. Yeah, he's not fighting for working class people at all. And neither was Obama. Neither was Bush. Neither was Clinton. So if you really think Trump's that great, the numbers show we're better off than 2 years ago. No, they don't. I don't know where you're getting those numbers, but the UN did a study. There are large portions of America that are living in third world conditions. We're not better off than 2 years ago. No, we're not. David Wint. Ocasio-Cortez sent out an email this morning canvassing for Julia Salazar's effort to reach out and Cynthia Nixon, which is cool. Citizens Media TV, Naked Cap is my favorite website, run by a modern money-aware economist. Daily links on all the MMT perspective, and they're published 7 of my articles. Do yours all right on. Annabelle Court. Yeah, Trump is alienating the rest of the world. Good job. Yeah, people are just done with us. They're circumventing us. That's not good for the economy. When China and Russia are like, nope. When countries are like, we're not using the dollar anymore. That's not good. Shelby Hall, there was zero unemployment during slavery too, so please spare me the unemployment rate bullshit. Let's talk wages. Yeah, the 1% is better off than 2 years ago. I blame society. Well, maybe we should not invite more people from the third world. No, that's not the problem there, Trumpy. Poor white people are living in third world conditions. Poor white Americans are living this way because globalization has ruined it. The Republicans and the Democrats have ruined everything. If you think that Trump is and the Republicans are doing a good job, then you're lost. It's just like the Hillary people who think the neoliberals who think the Democratic Party is better. You're lost, dude. Graham, does Kevin DeLeon meet your idea of what a progressive is? Do you think he'll win his Senate race in California? Feinstein's way too war happy. He's a little bit better than Feinstein, but he's sort of just like corporate Democrat light. I don't see him. I don't see him coming around and being any sort of real progressive if he does beat her. He's one of those guys that would talk tough during a campaign and then would win, and then the DNC would tell him what to do, and he would just buckle. Marcia Smith, Kevin DeLeon is not a progressive, and he will lose to Feinstein in November. Yeah. My mom finally got health insurance, pays over $400 per month for a premium, and got $1,000, $150 copay for a kidney infection. We aren't winning. Yeah, there's no way we're winning. I don't know what anyone's talking about. Did you see Mike from the Humanist Report's video on how Kamala Harris might slowly go for the idea of abolishing ICE? No, I did not see that video, but I wouldn't be surprised. She would only do that because it's politically convenient, because that might help her get votes. So there's no way. Shelby Hall, Kelvin DeLeon is a coattail kind of guy. He's all about following Feinstein's footsteps. Shelby's on fire today. That's what happens when your air conditioner goes out. Yeah, Kamala Harris is such a fake progressive. She is unbelievable. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, Shelby. I think Kamala Harris will pull off her mask at one point, and it will be Hillary Rodham Clinton. Our citizens sell the majority of blood to the rest of the world because we have all we have left in our veins. Yeah, Cory Booker too. Yeah, man. Yeah. Lenny 50, please, you should already know MMT. Being a progressive means nothing if you can't explain macroeconomic reality to the public. Come on, Graham. Yeah, I just did 2 videos on it. Wake the fuck up. It's explained to me. Part 1 and part 2. MMT is explained to me. Part 1 and part 2. Watch those videos. Come on, person that's not paying attention. Stable Genius Progressive. I don't understand the whole thing that Democrats and Republicans are the same. It's simplification. They both suck in many of the same ways. That is true. But abortion rights, okay, there's a handful of things. Sure. To quote Noam Chomsky, this is like one of the worst Republican parties I've ever seen. Yeah, they're pretty, and they're going so fascist and so crazy. It's nuts. But how are the Democrats that much better? That's where the problem that I have. I don't think it's oversimplifying. I think it's just like I'm not going to get caught in that lesser of two evil bullshit. A guy literally said to me on Twitter, Graham, if I have to choose between a shit sandwich and a shit sandwich with fries, I'll take the fries, meaning the Democrats. And that, I think, is dangerous. But that's all the Democrats have. Both parties are pro-banking. Both parties are pro-war. Both parties are pro-corporation, pro all of that stuff. I mean, look how many people Obama killed with his drone strikes. Murdered. 26,171 rockets Obama dropped. Obama dropped in 2016. He took us from 2 wars to 7. So while pro-choice is very important, and it's important to me, you can't, we can't. I personally am not gonna like. I'm not gonna look at all the awful shit the Democrats have done and said that they're better than the Republicans. The Republicans are just nuts. But there's not that big of a difference between both parties. Goldman Sachs has been in every presidential cabinet since Reagan. Since Reagan. So, yeah, I can't. And all right, Democrats don't generally want to cut Social Security and Medicare. It's just the same old little 4 or 5 things that separates them. It's just like I can't. The healthcare industry pays Democrats and Republicans equally, right? We could have free healthcare in this country. Democrats helped fuck that. Democrats did. Democrats fucked it here in the state of California last spring. Democrats, we were going to have single payer healthcare in California, and Democrats fucked it. Shelby Hall, watch Humanist Report today showing Reagan talking immigration. He sounded like the Dems now. We have moved so far to the right, only fascism remains. Great point. Yeah. Obama did offer up cutting Social Security. Yeah, I mean, Obama let 5.2 million foreclosures happen. Obama deported 2 million people. He helped start the war in Yemen. There's 130 kids dying every day in Yemen as a result because of Obama. Abortion's important, Medicare's important, but that's because we're not seeing stacks of bodies that have been killed as a result of Obama and Bush and Clinton. We're not seeing that on our daily, outside our front doors, but it's happening in the Middle East. Yeah, DSA is not a political party. It's amazing that Monica Lewinsky saved Social Security temporarily. Yeah. 5 million homes foreclosed with fake paperwork. I don't think the policy platforms of Republicans and Democrats matter much at all because there's very little difference between them. That's why I want a third party. You know? The last election, as Jimmy Dore said, there was no way to vote against more war. There was no way to vote against fracking. There was no one to vote against Goldman Sachs. There's no one to vote against it. There's no difference other than these handful of issues. And they're significant issues, but I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that I have to take all this awful crap. I can't do it, man. A second party, yeah. A third, a fourth, and a fifth party. Yeah. NARAL supported Crowley in the primaries. Yep. Yeah. We're about to run out of bombs again. You have a good point. During Obama's administration, many abortion clinics closed and it became more difficult to access abortion financially and physically. Yeah, because the Democratic Party has gone so far to the right. Dick Lee Rutler, after a Cortez win, will more Dem candidates take a more progressive stance to have a better chance to win? Man, I hope so. But well, let me back up on that a little bit. I hope more people, more real progressives go, fuck this, I'm going all in. I worry that corporate Democrats are gonna like sprinkle out some progressivisms. Like Hillary started doing that when Bernie was really gaining steam. So that's that they're just gonna give it lip service to try to win. I don't know. I hope it means that more actual progressives just realize they can win. That's what I think. Yeah, there you go. Pete D. It seems that Cortez was able to win because the DNC didn't take her seriously enough to cheat her. Yeah, exactly. And now they're going to try to make her change her stuff. You know, they're going to try. They're going to try. Yeah. The Democrats have been moving to the right, moving to the right, moving to the right, and now the Republicans are just a fucking crazy fascist party. So I'm not going to vote for not as fascist. Yeah, Wall Street does own both parties. Oh, guys, I'm starting to lose my voice here. My voice is starting to hurt. Yeah, Steny Hoyer will tell her what's what. That's what I'm worried about. They're gonna sit her down and go, "All right, kid, you won with your little lemonade stand. Now it's time to." What comes after fascist? Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Just like arguing over degrees of fascism seems a little silly. It's like, yeah, but how bad of a serial killer? Like, just kill a bunch of people or kill them and then fuck the corpses and eat them? You know what I mean? Yeah, the Dems want a Gillibrand, not a firebrand. Take some honey, yeah. Phil Britton, laughter is medicine. Don't forget to OD it on a daily. Decisions have been made. Oh, Shelby Hall. Shelby, you're fantastic. As Alexandria Cortez says, in a moral, modern, and wealthy America, nobody should be too poor to live. Yep. In a moral, modern, and wealthy America. There's, as we said, even before I learned MMT, there was enough money to pay for everything. Now that I know MMT, it's not even an issue. But that's the thing. If this country and its leaders and if it was an actual democracy versus a kleptocracy run by oligarchs, there's enough money if we had a moral compass, if we didn't just care about profit and selfishness. I mean, capitalism is designed to make everybody fight with each other. You got to fight for each other's jobs. You got to fight whatever. So if we had a moral compass, this country, then having like free college tuition, forgiving student loan debt, free healthcare, it's all doable. It's all doable. Anytime they tell you, oh, there's no money for that, it's just because they don't want to spend it. They have money for war. They always have money for war. But there should be zero poverty. Single greatest collection of wealth in the history of the human race. There is no excuse for this. We should have a Green New Deal. We should be putting solar panels on every roof instead of running out of bombs. Everyone should have a job. The minimum wage should be $25 an hour. There's plenty of money for that. The billionaire class, the corporations, the CEOs just broke another record for salaries. Another record for salaries. There is plenty of money to have all of this, to have a good infrastructure, to have amazing public schools, but the public schools are designed to keep us all stupid and let us think that, oh, there's a big difference between these two fucking cocksucker parties. There is not. There is money for everything. There should be zero homelessness. There's money for mental illness, for mental health. There's money to end drug addiction. There's money for all of it. But they don't want to do it. But Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez does. And thank you, Shelby Hall, for bringing that up. I just answered a bunch of your other questions from all you other folks. Plantastic Life, the anti-ICE demonstrations make me think there would be an anti-military policy demonstrations if MSM covered the Yemen humanitarian crisis. Absolutely. That you bring up a great point, Plantastic Life. If the corporate media was showing every day all the kids dying in Yemen, was showing all of the civilians we've murdered with our drone strikes since 9/11, from Trump, from Obama, from Bush, you better believe there would be anti-war protests across the board. There would be massive walkouts. If there was video, if there was news coverage of what the Saudis, how the Saudis treat people. One of the worst human rights violators on the planet, the Saudi Arabian, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, that we support. Trump sold them $100 billion in weapons. Obama sold them $113 billion in weapons. If the mainstream media was showing this, was showing all the people we are murdering, you better believe there would be anti-war protests. But that's not going to happen because who buys ad time on Fox and MSNBC and CNN? Who buys ad time? Raytheon, Boeing, Goldman Sachs that finances this, the American Petroleum Institute, right? If there was somebody showing real news, you remember when the news just stopped going to Standing Rock? What happened to Rachel Maddow? I thought she was our liberal hero. No, she was not our liberal hero. If there was news cameras in Flint, Michigan, showing people dying or having neurological damage from contaminated water and all the health issues that are happening, it's been over 4 years of contaminated water in Flint, Michigan. That happened under Obama. Where's the corporate media on that? Where is it? Where are the cameras showing any of this stuff? Thanks for bringing that up, Dominic. Yeah. No subways would have been built if people would have said we don't have the money 100 years ago. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Next crash, the CEOs and Wall Street bankers will be nailed on dollar sign shaped crucifixes while they're silhouetted on Wall Street on fire. Graham, does abolish ICE include Department of Homeland Security and CBT? Well, definitely Homeland Security. That was created after 9/11. That was something Hillary Clinton voted for. That was when war criminal George W. Bush started all this, the Expansion of Wars Act and all that other nonsense. Taj Marie, speaking of Yemen, you should check out Richard Wolff's video on the military complex and Orwellian theory and why it exists in the first place. Oh, wow. Nice. Watch Al Jazeera and you will see sickening videos of dead and dying people, such as in Gaza. Thanks. Jordan Cheriton still goes to Flint. Good for him. Vegan Trove. Folks, please watch Graham's chat with Jeff Epstein about MMT. It was excellent. Thank you. Everything created after 9/11 related to seizing rights needs to be rolled back. Absolutely. The family separations at the border were going on for months before we all found out just recently, apparently. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Obama vaporized habeas corpus, paving the way for the fascism that is today. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and another thing here. Has Hillary Clinton ever stood up for anything really substantial for the people? Yeah, of course not. And this is going back to the difference in the party. Hillary just says, "Oh, I'm pro-choice. We can't let them get." That's the only thing they got is we're fighting for Roe Wade. That's the only thing that's different. It drives me crazy. Yes, we should fight for Roe Wade. Of course we should, but that should be a done deal because they've gone so far to the fucking right. Roe v. Wade is still in play because the Democratic Party have sold us the fuck out, and the Republicans are fucking fascists. Republicans don't give a fuck about. Here's the difference. Neither party gives a shit about working class people in America. The Republicans are better at masking it. The Republicans are better at pretending they're working for Joe Sixpack. They're better at masking it, but neither party gives a fuck about it. Neither party does at all. Haha, she stood up for Goldwater. I was a Goldwater girl. Exactly. Which is why you have to check the timing of why the embassy all of a sudden wants to cover it now. It's a good point. It's a good point. All of a sudden now they want to cover the families being separated. It's been going on for a while. Why now? To get everybody worked up about it? Okay. Yeah. See, Blaine, Republicans are better at banding together. Yeah, Wizard John. She's proud. Hillary's proud to be friends with Kissinger. Ask some people in Cambodia and Vietnam what they think about Kissinger. Ask some Vietnam vets what they think about Kissinger. Big friend of Hillary. I'm with her. She'll fight for you. Marcia Smith, Hillary Clinton wasn't even in support of that. In September 2015, she did an interview and said she supports a constitutional amendment limiting access if it has provisions for a mother's life. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. What has Hillary said about the border problem? Good question, Moves Gal. I don't know. Shelby, if those fuckers think they can take something that we finally got, they've lost their goddamn minds. They keep us from decent jobs, education, healthcare, but now they want to take things away. Absolutely. Rob Illinoisy, thank you for supporting the show. Proud you're learning MMT. Pass it to Jimmy and Mike. I will. Ban the CIA. Yeah. Yeah. Ask people, ask Egyptians and Libyans what they think of Hillary Clinton. David Kapoor, more interested in the root cause of why migrants are fleeing CIA interventions and NAFTA economic terrorism. Yeah, absolutely. That's the other thing no one wants to talk about. Wow, they keep coming to our country for jobs. You know, they wouldn't need to if we didn't do all this bullshit NAFTA and the TPP, all this fucking globalization crap that just fucks over workers and then makes it even harder in third world countries so that they have to come here. Oh, and another group that always wants to come here, refugees, because we keep bombing the fuck out of their countries and they have nowhere else to go. If we don't want Syrian refugees, maybe we should stop trying to blow that country up to fight over two different pipelines. That's what that's all about. It's ridiculous. Good point, David. It is about to get ugly in America. Yeah, Clinton said no to wall, but yes to a barrier. Yeah, HRC did suck. There's no other way to put it. Tajmir, if she is for women, Hillary should have spoke out against the throwing out of the class action lawsuit of women against Walmart. She is for rich women like herself. Yeah, of course. Yeah. The class action lawsuit of women against Walmart. Oh, wait, but she was on the board of Walmart. So not only did she help stop that, she helped stop $15 an hour for Walmart employees. That's our dear friend Hillary fighting for women. Fuck that. She got $600,000 from Goldman Sachs. It's crazy. No, Bill Maher would never have the balls to have me and Jimmy on his show. Never. Yeah. Housing children in abandoned Walmart, says the Walton family still getting rent. Oh, it's crazy. Well, you guys, you will not defeat the Lion of Damascus. Yeah. Yeah, $600,000 didn't influence at all. Good, absolutely. No, not at all. And all those, there were 20 countries that gave money to the Clinton Foundation. And then here's a weird, wacky coincidence, totally unrelated. All those 20 countries were given defense contracts were given arms deals when she was Secretary of State. Those two things aren't connected at all. I am a sexist burn bro that hates women. Shammy Davis Jr., thanks for supporting the show. You guys are fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah. Now Supreme Court's going to say we can't have lawsuits against. I'm a sexist bigot for sure. If money did influence people, Melania wouldn't be married to Trump. So there's that. Wait a minute, Shelby. She loves Trump. That's why beautiful women marry old, disgusting looking worms. That's why Harvey Weinstein's wife was so beautiful. They were in love. They're in love. How dare you trample on true love like Melania Trump? How dare you? Are you so cynical, Shelby Hall, you don't believe in real love? Oh, God. Ugh, jackwagons. So cynical. 10-4, Donnie Hayes can't get pussy. This is becoming a comedy show. It's weird that a comedian on a live chat would suddenly become like a comedy show. Please bring Chris Hedges on the Jimmy Dore show. I don't have much influence over that, but I would love to see it happen. Monty G, they earn every penny. Oh, God. Phil Britton, there were years during the Vietnam War protests when it felt like no end was in sight. Think it, make it happen. No, you're right. Phil, you bring up a great point about the Vietnam protests. And people just had to be persistent. Ending Vietnam, ending Jim Crow laws and segregation, getting women's rights, these things did not happen overnight. And if we don't want to keep fighting these battles every 20 years, we should really abandon any corporate Democrats and just get real progressives in there and really go for a third party. Really get it. And I think it's it shows that all the little things that I talk about that we do about getting involved, that's what the progressive commentary is about. Like, if the DSA interests you, they're not a political party. Go check them out. If you want to get involved with get behind a progressive candidate, back them. There's a bunch running. If there's none in your district, then support some ones that don't live where you live and in other states. Phone bank for Kenneth Mejia. Start a DSA in your town if there isn't one. They'd love to have you do it. Contact their main office and say, what do I do? I'm sure they'd be glad to help. Say, I heard about you on the Political Vigilante. You can get involved with these organizations. Openprimaries.org. I was handing out pamphlets from them at the shows on the last tour. Get involved. Because as Phil Britton says, it seemed like the Vietnam War was never going to end. It seemed like it was one horrible thing after another. Martin Luther King's killed. Bobby Kennedy's killed. Malcolm, on and on and on. Nixon gets reelected. Oh my God, what? But they did it. They finally, wasn't perfect, the aftermath, whatever, but they ended the war in Vietnam that was killing American GIs. It was killing millions of Vietnamese civilians, women and children, just awful. And we got to have anti-war protests. We need to just stop with the war. Stop with the war. Stop spending all this money. We're running out of bombs. So, Yeah, Lynn 50, the Electoral College must be abolished. Third parties can't survive under the current system. Yeah, yes. But if we get a bunch of progressives in there like Ocasio-Cortez, that's how it can get abolished. We got to get the corporate folks out. We got to get them out and just get a victory here, a victory there. Like I say, it starts with your city council. It starts with your school board. Get involved. Every little progressive win is a win, and everyone adds up. They all add up. So, I got to talk to my stockbroker about Raytheon stocks. Yeah, it's a great stock. Shelby Hall's on fire. Yeah, $2. Somebody donated $2 to Tim Canova. Give some money to Tim Canova. Give some money to Kenneth Mejia. Nixon blocked all entrances to the White House with school buses when the Vietnam War protests were in D.C. That's a level of fear we need to give them. Yeah. We need to have mass protests. Graham, in my view, the best way to over after the GOP is to get progressive Democrats on all the school boards. Thoughts? Yeah, exactly. Yes, absolutely. Get your entire school board to be progressive, right? Do what Gail McLaughlin did in that little town in California. 5 of 7 city council seats were progressives. It's stuff like that. The Women's March that's going for peace. Make things like really focus the message, get involved, and get a little victory here, get a little victory there. I'm telling you, that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to take. Yeah. Get 100 people to dress as dead Yemenis and lay in traffic. Yeah, Ramos isotope. I mean, it's like, put the facts out there. Let people know. So, Shelby Hall, get involved. That's what it's going to take. I understand. You all have jobs and families and stuff like that. A couple hours a week, man, on the phone. Donating $5, $10. $22 was the average donation for Ocasio-Cortez. No big corporate donors. None. There's going to be more people like her, and the DNC can't handle it. So, you guys are great. Poor People's Campaign. PT brings up the Poor People's Campaign. That's another great thing to get involved with. Because Dr. King started the Poor People's Campaign. There's so many places and so many ways for you to get involved. And you might think, well, I'm just one person. I'm just involved in this little organization. But it's something. It's better than nothing. They want you apathetic. They want you just any blue will do. They want you fighting red state, blue state. They want that shit. They don't want everybody joining the Poor People's Campaign. They don't want Trump voters to go, wait a minute, why are we spending all this money on war? Why are 22 veterans a day committing suicide? Because we're in a constant state of war? They don't want people thinking that way. They don't want you getting together. They don't want a Bernie supporter and a Trump supporter to get together and agree on a bunch of issues and say, yeah, let's make a difference. They don't want that to happen. They just want you to go out there and watch your corporate media and pick one of your teams, Fox or MSNBC, and then go out on a chat like this and spew out all your fucking stupid neoliberal or neocon bullshit. Get involved. With all this shit going on, it's important to keep our eyes on the prize and focus on expanding the good things going on. Absolutely. Vegan Trove. Sadly, Tim Canova supports the Jewish state of Israel. He is no friend of Palestinians. I did not know that. Robert Fernandez. Are you and Ron going to tour the Northeast? Hopefully. There's a lot of places we want to go. A lot of you guys, we're going to do something in Northern California. A lot of you guys have asked about Utah. We're looking into Texas one. I'll be in Seattle doing Political Vigilante Live August 9th and doing stand-up comedy August 11th. Go to grahamelwood.com. If you're in the Seattle area, please buy a ticket. It's not a huge venue, so it'll sell out. Hopefully, like we did in Louisville and Asheville. So We will try. Ryan, Heather, we don't have dates yet, but we're looking probably October, November, going to like San Francisco and maybe Sacramento and stuff like that. So glad you like the board craft vid. Sammy, where do I go see your schedule, Graham? So if you go to grahamelwood.com, all my tour dates are there. So again, the show, I'm starting to put it on, it's on Daily Motion. And yeah. My tour dates, the Make Gotham Great Again shirts are available on grahamelwood.com. So I have shirts that just say Make Gotham Great Again. So check that out. It's a great way to support the show too, is just buy a Make Gotham Great Again shirt and we'll have it shipped to you. You'll get it within a week or so. So I don't have anything for Vancouver, BC. Sorry. Canova is pro-Israel, but he's not anti-Palestinian. I believe can be worked with. Way better than Wasserman Schultz, in my opinion. Yeah, that's not a bad point. Come to Europe? Oh, I'd love to, Seamus. If I could, man. I do shows in London, and I've never been to Ireland. I'm part Irish. I should come there. Canada may need to build a wall to keep Americans out. I don't doubt it. Oh, well, guys, my voice needs a rest. So thank you guys so much. You always, I was kind of, going through some stuff and these chats are usually pretty awesome. And you guys put me in a good mood. And I thank all of you for supporting the show. Like I said, there's a lot of great ways to support the show. It's Patreon, which is patreon.com. Again, it's all at grahamelwood.com. Buy a Make Gotham Great Again shirt. Share these videos. Those of you who are like tight on money, please, I've said this before, I will say it again. If you're really tight on money, do not worry about giving me cash. Don't worry about it. I've had some people like, oh, I'm so tight on money. And don't stress. There's plenty of ways to support the show. If you have some money, if you're doing all right, a little financial donation obviously helps the show. I'm getting, if not in the next week or so, I'm going to redo the whole studio thanks to all of you guys. So that's going to be happening soon. So I want to thank all the super chatters. Plantastic Life again. Thank you, Dominic. David Wint, appreciate you supporting the show. Shelby Hall, you were on fire today, baby. Don't take away her air conditioning. She gets hot. You have a good point. Thank you, Baby Gerald. Triana Be Fine. Taj Marie. Shelby Hall again. Plantastic Life again. Rob Illinois and Sammy Davis and Shammy Davis Jr. You guys are so cool. It's Martini time. Smoke them if you got them. I hope you're getting a job and get involved. And we will see you in Seattle August 9th. July 15th, I will be on panel at the Jimmy Dore Show in Chicago. I don't know if there's still tickets left because it's almost sold out. But July 15th, I'll be in Chicago with Jimmy Dore. Seattle, August 9th and 11th. Political Vigilante Live, August 9th in Seattle. And Stand-Up Comedy, August 11th. All those tour dates are at grahamelwood.com. Thank you so much. Shelby Hall, AC can go, but taking a woman's right to choose, that's a big one. I hear you. This is a good discussion, you guys. What about July 27th? I think I'll be on that one. We're looking at Florida, too. Moose Gal, Graham, you put me in a good mood. I wish I could meet you in real life. Me too, man. I'm coming to Seattle. Yeah. Chicago, July 15th with JDS. Seattle, Aug 9 and 11. Yeah, the July 27th Jimmy Dore show that's in LA. I think I'm on that one. I'm not sure yet, but usually will. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for giving me hope. Seeing all of you get involved in all your questions and discussions and debates. I like a good, healthy debate. If you're just going to argue the same thing over and over and be a jackwagon, that's kind of dumb. But how do I spell Elwood? One L, baby. Yeah, Shelby's going to go. So you guys are great. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. To all of you, all over America and the world. It's so cool that there's people all over the world watching this. So you guys are great. Thanks for watching. Buy a Make Gotham Great Again shirt. And all of you are making Gotham great by getting involved. There's that big crazy finger.